probably stopping yourself from doing other things, such as
Why do people always assume VTubers are ugly in real life? You use anime actors, you must be hiding something. Because I am hiding something, I'm hiding the fact that I don't want to be seriously, you always assume your
The internet used to be so simple, man. All I needed as a kid was a good, hearty Let's Play to keep me locked in front of my iPod Touch for hours. But times have changed. You can't just be overly furious over a somewhat flawed piece of media anymore. Now, if you want views, you have to upload short-form content. Short-form content is great on paper. It allows creators to make videos on smaller topics they may not be able to stretch into full-length videos. Surely, I hope that this format doesn't devolve into a jungle of absolute filth designed to hypnotize your brain into mindlessly watching useless garbage. But before I even start shitting all over hyper-editing, let me make things very clear. This is an absolute first world problem, and if I use clips of creators in this video, it is not an invitation to harass or insult any of them. Now, what the fuck is even hyper-editing? Hyper-editing started becoming popular on TikTok when people realized viewers will watch anything if they're constantly rewarded for making it to the next second. It consists of always having some sort of stimulus, movement, change of scenery, or it can even be sound effects. Since the algorithm favors retention, hyper-edited videos became more and more popular, almost becoming in some sort of mark of the beast. Alright, I get it! Okay, boring part is over. Now that you know what it is, this shit is overwhelming as fuck. I'm not someone who gets motion sick. I can play any VR games for hours without ever needing to take a break. But this editing makes me want to fucking vomit. Like, is this really necessary?
And I'm an editor and VTuber across many platforms who can achieve views like this. So if you need a clip or video edited, I'm the catboy who can help. For more details, look in my bio.
Does every picosecond need to have some sort of bind boom sound effect combined with visual pollution? As viewers, are y'all actually engaged in this type of content? Because I seriously think it's nigh impossible to remember any information where there's this much shit going on. It's like when you're having a serious conversation with a friend and
the cancer's getting worse. The doctors are saying if it keeps growing at this rate, they're gonna have to put her in ghost hell, which is like regular hell, but all ghostly.
Well, you're not really supposed to pay attention to the sound effects. Oh! Is that so?
Does this make my video better? If it's annoying, don't worry, just filter it out!
If you're supposed to just filter it out, why have so many in the first place? And to those creators, do y'all realize how condescending this garbage is? This comes across as like saying, I don't trust you enough to stay on the video, so I'll put a bunch of random shit to artificially engage you. And listen to me, I don't care how confidently you're talking. This makes you look insecure. Insecure about your ability to entertain and be interesting. And the worst part is that this insecurity is completely bullshit. So many VTubers genuinely have interesting stories or information to share. I want to hear about how people confuse your accent. I want to hear about why we wear black at funerals. But it's so hard to pay attention to what you're saying when I have to filter out 70 different layers of tung ass sounds. So my question is, if you're interesting or entertaining, why the fuck are you lowering your own standards like this? Oh, because it's popular. Yeah, you know what else is popular? Everyone does it. Dying. Why are you so scared? It's so popular. Everyone's doing it. Ah, well, they wouldn't watch it if it was less edited. Not only is this a fucking lie, because you can take anything and make it interesting if you inject it with enough passion and personality. But also, would that really be so bad? Are we so brain broken to where having a distinct personality is considered gatekeeping? And that's one of the things that pisses me off, how this type of editing almost completely hides any sort of heart and individuality. It devolves any video regardless of topic into a homogeneous blob, made not as a way to share an interesting anything, but as a twisted numbers game where care is only given when this bar goes ever so slightly down. Because the reality is that this style is made to be generic and replaceable, leaving videos to feel generic and replaceable, no matter in which tone or volume the creator is screaming in. We don't have time to sound like a human in this business. We're on AI speech time here. It seems like most creators got the hook part pretty good, but then forgot that they're not really entertaining or, interesting. So to compensate, they decided to fucking hypnotize people. Y'all remember laugh tracks in sitcoms and how annoying they were? Ha 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 ha, you're supposed to laugh here. Why? Because it's funny? No! Because I'm telling you to! Hyper-editing is almost the same thing, but with retention. Oh, there's a sound here. I'm supposed to be entertained. I'm so engaged. I don't know if it's my ODD speaking for me, but no, I'm not gonna laugh because you tell me to. And no, I'm not gonna be entertained because you jingled fucking keys in front of me. Hyper-editing makes what independent content creators should dread like the plague. It makes creators feel corporate and cold, optimizing every single frame to maximize retention by adding unnecessary bullshit just because it may lead to someone finishing the video. I'm not saying everything in your video should be necessary. You might actually notice that it's the complete opposite of my point. But what you do put in your video that isn't necessary still needs a purpose. Captions are the best example of this because they always have a purpose other than just to please that juicy retention graph. And it's to make your videos more accessible to everyone. So if you have a visual and you want to bring attention to it, sure, put a sound effect. But when every single visual has one sound effect, it gets annoying! And it removes from the original point and personality of the person. I don't fucking like that. I hate this shit. I hate how it's inefficient to have a distinct personality. It sometimes feels like we all have to be the same copy of the popular thing if we want people to care about us. How does that not piss some of y'all off? Or does it piss you off? And nobody ever got the chance to hear about what you had to say. As VTubers, we shouldn't think that our avatar is only what makes us unique. It's also our personality, our humor, the things we're passionate about. And whether it's the visuals you use, the sound effects, the music, filters, transitions, editing is a key to highlighting who you are. But when you pay someone to just copy something popular, you hide that last piece of the puzzle, leaving a constant reminder of something you're missing. You. I'm not asking every creator to edit their own videos. That's unrealistic and wouldn't fundamentally fix the real problem. And truth be told, those editors deserve to get paid for their work, no matter if content is good or bad. But when all assets of a creative hobby become standardized with similar visuals, sound effects, backgrounds, then we don't have creativity anymore. We just have an industrial recipe. Growing up loving games with parents that hated them, I've never really had anyone to consistently share my interests with. So as I got older, I got quieter and quieter. Because what was the point in sharing a piece of myself if people were just going to dismiss it? It's through Let's Plays, reviews, retrospectives that I've learned that content creation isn't just making videos. It's about taking a piece of yourself and leaving it for others to see. Listen, I'm not good at many things. I can't draw that well, I can't play any instruments, and I can't even rank up in my most hated games. But one thing that I know I'm decent at is creating good videos. I'm not the best at it, of course, but nothing in my life leaves me as fulfilled as creating content I'm proud of. When I work on a video, I feel like I can motivate myself to do anything. You have no idea how much time I sometimes spend on some stupid 1-second gag most people wouldn't even notice. I'm not saying this to put myself on a pedestal. Effort doesn't necessarily equal good content. I could work for 4 months on a video called The Takedown of the Woke Left Media. And I mean, just by that title, you can kinda already tell it would be garbage. When I put my heart into something, it's not merely for it to be consumed and forgotten. I want it to be heard and remembered. And the biggest fear I have with hyper-editing is the pressure it puts on other creators. Not many tutorials want to teach you how to make a good video nowadays. They mostly want to teach you how to make one that gets the most views, likes, comments, and attention. And if you're someone who enjoys making or consuming this kind of content, that's honestly perfectly fine, and there's nothing I'll say to change your mind. But To those who feel stressed or alone in their content creation journey, you are so talented. You're so creative. That piece of yourself you gifted the world with, it might seem like it's going unrecognized and forgotten. But believe me when I say this, even if it didn't feel like it had any impact on anyone, it did. Whether they enjoyed, shed a tear, smashed their keyboard in anger, that little piece of yourself did it. So don't feel discouraged. Don't lower yourself by masking that piece of yourself with all this extra unnecessary fluff. The path to hyper-editing might be an easier one, but what's the point if you hide yourself in the process? So please, I'm begging you, keep revealing your heart. Because God, we could use more imperfection in this world.